What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a blessed day. My name is Cameron Tucker. I'm here with
Chase.
Kayla.
Jayla.
And this is
Just Vibes Podcast.
So we are back after some time away.
Yes.
Okay, vacations, other things going on, but we're back. We're delivering you some content. Please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let us know if you would like to be in one of our episodes. Or you just like to talk to us, and we'll interview you. We'll come to your football game. We also do sports, and we do everything. So just let us know. But going into today's topic, stereotypes.
Yeah.
Really big thing. This was brought up by Chase. Okay, this is something big. Okay, and we need to talk about this. We see we had two of our guests. We had Makayla and Jayla, just to have some different minds in there and stuff, and talk about this topic because it's stereotypes within the Black community. Light skin, brown skin, dark skin, it's stereotypes. White communities, it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we're just going to go around the table and, talk about it. So I guess first let's start and say, describe what a stereotype is. So
we'll go around the table.
Yeah. So
I was just so started off.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
To me, I think a stereotype is like a given, I would say like opinion, because it's more like an opinion to a given group, such as race, gender, something like that. So I think that's where it comes into play in terms of that.
Yeah, I say the same thing. I know we talk about this a lot in school. Like it's, a false belief based on someone's ethnicity or gender or sexuality. And it's not true. And that's, that's what I think a stereotype is. So.
Yeah, I'm just gonna piggyback on what they said. It's just assuming something about somebody just based off how they look, their race, ethnicity, all that.
Yeah, I think the same thing, especially your style. Like, I feel like that's very a stereotypic type of thing. Because if we look different than other people, then they don't think that because of different race. And we just
Nah, we feel that. And that's what we're going to dive into. I really want to start off and talk about, colorism because we were all young African-American kids. So, and colorism has become a really big thing. I feel like, especially now, I feel like, when we had segregation and especially slavery, they would call light skins mulattoes and stuff like that. And I feel like it was, sort of a big thing, but now I feel like it's just skyrocketing. That's how we identify now. And I don't think it's good because we're making our own stereotypes within the Black community, which, we're like, oh, dark skins only do this, or light skins are always, they players or whatever. They conceited, you know what I mean? Brown skins, well, they just in between. They don't know where to be, stuff like that. And I feel like we have to stop that because we have so many stereotypes already being thrown at us as young Black men and women, you know what I mean? So it's we're just making it worse by creating our own. We're tearing ourselves apart. So, but again, that's my ideas. What you think, Chase?
I think for me, especially in that's just, I think in terms of stereotypes, that's people's opinions. They saw it one time and it made it so big and made it into a big worldwide type of thing. So specifically into colorism, I think, especially in terms of the Black community, in terms of light skins, dark skins, like you said, light skins, they think they're the players and stuff like that. But, we're all people at the end of the day. So, I mean, it's really no difference. So there's really nothing else to say. What y'all think, ladies?
I think when it comes to women, especially in colorism, light-skinned women get seen as more less aggressive than dark-skinned women. A dark-skinned woman can go off on a light-skinned woman, and the dark-skinned women will get more hate because they think they're more aggressive, more loud than light-skinned women. I think it all just comes, that comes slavery actually from the house and the fields and
Since I'm Hispanic and from a Latina point of view, I feel like everybody thinks we're based off how we're made to do specific things, or we're made to have more of a very strict household, and they can think really bad on us because of how our behavior is. with kids and with different types of things. But yeah,
I
that's
feel
it
that.
for my
I feel that, and I think people have to draw the line between cultural things, and just stereotypical things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it might just be culture that certain families or certain people of a certain ethnicity run their household a certain way,
Right.
and it might be a stereotype that all black people love fried chicken. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you have to draw the line,
Mhm.
when it comes to stuff like that. But since I already, I'm moving off of more colorism stuff, let's move into like more general stereotypes, because it's stereotypes not just with, black people. We all know those, like, black people love watermelon, black people love fried chicken. Those are the most well-known stereotypes of all, right? And they're terrible, back during, the initial show days and the blackface days, like, they were dolls made of,
Yep.
like, you know what I mean? Like, people in blackface, black men in huge lips eating watermelon, like, used to call it the watermelon man. And it's stuff like that. And that's like, stereotypes turns into like physical things. So, but moving away from that, let's talk about like more stereotypes, like, that we might have with white people. So I feel like that's not talked about a lot. I'm being honest.
Right.
Because
it's true.
we all do it. Like,
We all do it.
as the black community, we have been we've been scrutinized the most, we've been under the most hate, we've been through 400 years of slavery. We've by far been through the worst.
Right.
But we cannot let that cloud us, and we cannot say, oh, well, we don't do that, but like, we do. You know what I mean? So I want to get into that. So let's, like, just general stereotypes that
I think
y'all can think of.
I got you. Like, in terms of like black people saying, in terms of white people, a good one would probably be like when we talk about white people and just like how their whole attitude is towards black people, specifically when especially in terms of cooking. There it is. In terms of their cooking, like in terms of seasoning and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like us as black people, we always season our food, stuff like that. But in terms of white people, it's like they put a pinch of something that, like, that's a big stereotype, especially with that. So they got
another one, the Karen stereotype. You know what I mean? Like, it's stuff like that, like Karens, and then not even with just like English Caucasian people, but like, you had stereotypes made about Asians, like how they're always, they might be
Indians.
Yeah, like
the list goes on.
It's stereotypes all around. So, ladies, what are some other stereotypes not, dealing with the black community you might have said or might have heard?
I mean, yeah, there are stereotypes towards white people. Like, some people just assume white people are racist, but like, not all white people are racist. Like, people assume, like, black people assume off the bat, like, a white person is racist without even getting to know them, which is kind of wrong.
Yeah.
But I also see where it comes from. Because sometimes black people are just, like, scared to open themselves up to white people. From past experience, past trauma, all that. So, yeah.
I agree.
I feel that.
Right. And I feel like black people, when they look, like, they get scared because from the past trauma, or like if they got a complaint but they didn't do anything wrong, they just sat there and was like eating the food or having a good conversation, and they're too loud, and then they'll call the police or they'll make up a lie. Like, let's say you're at the park and you're chilling with your friends, and all of a sudden a white woman comes and bothers you, calls the police. You don't know what to do. Because sometimes a police officer can be racist towards black people and towards Hispanic people. And that's hard because, like, you don't feel safe if police officers, other people are racist towards culture like that. So that's really hard. Like,
Yo, I totally agree. And that's another thing. I feel like that's how stereotypes are made. They're made because of fear.
Yep.
That's what makes all stereotypes. Like, that's why I feel like in the black community, we might make stereotypes about, Asian people, or maybe it's just fear because you don't understand. You don't
understand what the actual culture is.
And that's why, like, when it comes to stereotypes made of people in the African American community, it's fear. they're just because they don't know. You know what I mean? Instead of coming up and saying hi, how you doing? They're like, oh well, I've heard that they do this, or I heard that they da.
Right.
And out of the fear that has been struggling in us during slavery, during segregation, like we've developed the same habits. So
Nothing's changed.
yeah, nothing's changed. So it's been
Never been a cycle.
yeah, it's a cycle and it's something we have to work on. But we wanted to make this episode because this is something that needs to be talked about more.
Yeah,
For sure. In both sides, because I feel like when it's talked about, it's only talked about with one side being the hero.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, we all our own
Right.
villains. Like we all
Right.
play a part. We all do something bad. And that's why we just want you all viewing to just like understand.
Be
Like,
educated.
Be
Right.
educated. Not everybody's perfect. Not everything is just black and white.
Everybody's different. That my grandfather said it. Thank God everybody's different.
Yeah. Cause it's what makes us beautiful. And like, we still have a long way to go, but we have come so far. And it's things like this, it's things like stereotypes that hold us back. So we just wanted y'all to be educated. We want y'all to, see it from both sides.
And I want to bring up another point. It's not just race. There's stereotypes against your own gender. Okay? This is true.
True.
So I want to bring up a big point in terms of men and women. Us as men sometimes think women are out here doing whatever they want to with other men and stuff like that, but you haven't even gotten to know the woman. So it's like you're bringing up this whole stereotype, and this is just it's not true. Not every woman's like that. Every woman is different. So you can't just bring up a stereotype like that, and that's not true. And probably for women, which y'all think that us men, we just out here with everybody, and we just doing whatever we want to with everybody. So, but you haven't gotten to know us, so you're just like, oh, he's just not a good guy. He's just gonna mess with everybody and think, oh, what am I gonna be with him for if he's just gonna go cheat on me? Why this and that? But you haven't got to know him.
Right.
And again, oh, go ahead.
Like another stereotype is like us guys think that women are so sensitive all the
Yeah, and
time.
then there's like mental health when it comes to
Right. They
and
think they're
how
so sensitive.
women don't think men go through stuff as much as we do. Like, you
Right.
think y'all are easier with handling our emotions, but y'all are not. Like, there's statistics
Right.
that show, like, y'all are not.
Like,
And, yeah, what are you gonna say?
I said, like, especially, the saying, like, men don't cry,
Yeah.
that stereotype,
It's
that's terrible. Men do cry. And the fact that, like, parents, like, tell their kids, like, men don't cry, so don't cry, man up. But men do cry. Girls cry. All girls guys go through the exact same thing, even worse than a girl can. So I feel like we have to be very mindful what we say or what guys say, because at the end of the day, you don't know what they're going through.
Right.
Neither do us know what we're going through.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo, and I totally understand.
Right.
Totally understand. And again, it's these traumatic experiences that create these stereotypes. Maybe a young woman has been through a lot with other guys, and they're like,
they have no trust in them.
She has this thing in mind that all guys are like that, because she's been with 6 guys that have all done the same thing to her. You know what I mean? So
she didn't find the right one, so she's locked up.
Right.
I know how that feels, and especially in terms of that from previous experiences, that a woman will lock up because of past experience, because they've been with the wrong guy. But once they meet the right one, it's like, okay, they're shocked, because it's like, is he gonna do something to me? They're always nervous and stuff like that. He's gonna lie to me. They're just not sure of themselves, so they're like, okay, they're continuously on you and stuff like that. But you gotta understand where they're coming from. Another thing too, because you can't let them feel afraid to be like that, because it's just human nature. So that's my thing.
Yeah, I agree, and it's it's
sad.
It is sad, but and shame on the guys and the girls who make those stereotypes true. But I definitely. So y'all have any other stereotypes you want to speak on? Well, based on sexuality.
Right, what we just said.
Whoa, gender. I said
Gender,
sexuality. Gender. Sexuality is next.
All right.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on to
Sexuality.
That's thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's so big.
That's a
because
big thing.
We've had the LGBTQ plus community. Had to make sure I pronounce that right.
Yes.
They've come up so
Right.
strong. You know what I mean? So many people are coming out. So many more younger people are saying they want to, we have so many young guys saying they want to be girls now. So many young girls saying they want to be guys.
Right.
The transgender community is going up. It's just it's a birth, and there's some good things happening and some really bad things happening.
Yeah.
So it's, and I feel like there's a lot of stereotypes with gay men.
Yeah.
That all gay men are soft, all gay men, this.
Right.
With women, it's like all lesbian women are studs or something like that. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that. And then, there's this whole controversy right now over like getting, people who want to switch their gender medicine and all that. And like, oh, well, what should be the age limit for wanting to do this? Cause you have young kids
man.
doing this in first and second grade. And we're not going to argue about that. We're talking about the stereotypes, but they're, stuff is happening. So besides, the things that I just said, do we have any other thoughts on stereotypes within this community?
I think in terms of stereotypes, I want you to go next on this one. I know you don't have a good point. But in terms of stereotypes, in terms of sexuality and stuff like that, I think like people are afraid to express it because they know the backlash they're going to get, especially with those stereotypes. They're going to get backlash. Like that's just the world we're in, the evil world we're in, that people can't express themselves how they want to. So I think in terms of that, different stereotypes against gay men, gay women, transgenders, those types of things aren't good to be projecting onto them because they're making a big decision and you can't try to make them feel less than what they are, make them feel like that, not that they're people, that they're not people, which is a very bad thing to feel, that they're not an actual person.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I feel like right now, trans women and women right now, they're like such this big feud over like periods and pregnancies and all that. And I feel like it's not that serious. Like, it's really not that serious. I feel like trans people, they just want that validation. Like, they want to be heard, they want to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes sense because for so long they were shut down. Everybody just told them, oh, you're not this, you're not that. They want that validation. So I see like they're trying to fight for stereotypes, and I feel like that's good for them. And
I feel like young kids are very scared to come out because let's say they have friends that don't really support that and they're scared to come out. And when they do, they all leave. That's very hurtful for a kid to come out because they know how the world is. But at the same time, it's like, do what you love. If you want to come out and be bi or gay, do it. You live in your own world, in your own little bubble. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says. Of course, it may hurt, but at the same time, it's like, you can't let other people's words and other stereotypes get in your mind and think, okay, let me just be normal. Normal is so basic. Be who you are and love who you are and love people.
Yeah.
Amen.
Wait, I'll take off of that. But the whole like, people assume because like, people be assuming because somebody's gay, somebody's whatever, that they want you. Like gay men, and like straight men be thinking that gay men, just because they're gay, I'm not gonna be a gay person.
That's true.
I promise y'all, 90% of the time, no gay man was a gay man.
Right.
Like there's a stereotype that a gay man's gonna be all up on you and all that, but it's not that serious. Like they can chill, just like.
And especially for like a gay girl, like to be around your friends and they're straight, like their parents will automatically think that they're trying to get on them.
And sometimes they just want to hang.
They want to hang out with somebody.
Gay men want men friends too, like
right.
Like, and gay girls want girlfriends too.
Exactly.
Like, so yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. And I kind of lost my train of thought. But when it comes to stuff like that. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So my friend, I have a perfect example of that. My friend Noah, who I used to play rugby with, we'll put his Instagram tag in the video.
Right, shout out to Noah.
Yeah, play rugby, great dude. I think he's still playing in LA with Ryan with rugby. But one of his friends is gay, and they love fashion together. They be posting pictures and stuff, and people were hitting them. Some dudes were hitting them like, "Yo, why you hanging out with a gay dude?" You know what I'm saying? Like, were you gay or something?
Right.
I just start friends, we cool, we've been friends for a minute, and they just chilling. You know what I mean? So, like, gay dudes can still have, male friends, and lesbian women can still have, stuff. And another thing I want to speak on, I feel like with us men, we're way more harsh, way more stereotypical when it comes to gay men, because I feel like with women, it's a little bit easier. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, I feel like it's a little bit easier to be accepted, like, as a lesbian woman.
Yeah.
Like, within, I'm not talking about with your parents.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just with friends. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that. It's, and that's where a lot of I feel like we're way more stereotypical. Yeah. And speaking on stereotypes and stuff, but that's a really good one, especially with sexuality. I'm trying to think of another one, but those were the biggest ones. Yeah. For sure when it comes to sexuality. Yeah. So, that was our last topic based on stereotypes. Do we have anything else that we want to talk about?
Let's talk about religion.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
We're gonna be there for a while. We're gonna be here for a while.
Man, religious stereotypes.
Just
especially for people who are Christian.
Yeah, there's these big stereotypes on the Christian.
Right, on Christian people.
We are so divided right now in the Christian faith because we have so many, first there was a Catholic church and then Protestant church broke out, and I think it was honestly a good thing because the Catholic Church at that time was doing a lot of,
very harsh things.
They were doing bad things, so people needed new, fresh ideas. But it's a lot of stereotypes with Protestant reverends and then Catholic priests. Like after, I'll say, everyone's heard about the scandals with Catholic priests, raping young men and girls. Heresy.
You never heard of that?
Oh, you never heard about that?
I've heard about that before.
It's bad.
There's actually a case going on in Baltimore, and that was it archdiocese that
it was the Washington. If you don't know, for anybody doing, it was the Washington diocese we have here in DC.
Yeah,
that the bishop, he was a cardinal. He he was charged, and in the diocese up, the head bishop in the diocese of Baltimore, I think, was charged. So 2 people from our area, like that's pretty
what
big.
That's what they do, and it sucks because
it's scary.
That's scary because how are you gonna get people to come to church? Because it's like, okay, why would I see? There's a stereotype. Why would I want to come to church if they gonna do this to me? So there's a stereotype that comes in.
There's always an if. Or there's always a what if I go to church and this happens.
Now, because even back to like LGBT, they're scared to come. They think everybody's homophobic.
Yep.
Everybody's not homophobic. And then abortion, everybody's pro-life. Not everybody's pro-life. Like the Christian community, they have like the stereotype over them that they think everybody's so judgmental, and we're not. Come as you are. Like we want you to get to know the Lord. We want you to get to know, like the Lord wants to get to know you. Like just because you're whatever you are, He's not gonna be like, "Bye, you can't be here." Like. So
you can still come to church. You
all
can
Christians are all hatred and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, God, God teaches us in the Bible not to do this. And pretty much any religious Bible tells you not to hate. So you can be reading the Quran, you can be reading, whatever the Buddha, the tenfold path, the Buddha's, you can be reading all that stuff. And it says not to hate. It says love your enemy. Well, God tells us to love our enemies and all that stuff. And if you go to a church or if you go to a place of worship and they turn you down,
that's not the place for you.
Exactly. It's not, or if they, everybody can have their own opinion, but if they don't just, give you the word, not what they think, but what God thinks, what God says in its most raw form, then you need to get out of it. Cause they're being God by telling you, what you should be, what you should do. And they're not God. You know what I mean? So
I think another thing, but there's other religions, of course. You have Jews, you have Muslims. You know the stereotypes we have against Muslims. You know the stereotypes we have against Jews. There's actually a show called South Park. This character named Eric Cartman, he actually judges his friend for being a Jew this entire show. And that's where another thing is, like, he has that stereotype in his head to judge his friend because he's a Jew. Now that's just a cartoon. They're supposed to do that, but that's real. You're judging somebody because of their religion. Now, in terms of Muslims, you know, in terms of events that we've had in the U.S., horrific events, we think, okay, all Muslims are bad. No, they're not. Look at Malcolm X.
exactly.
Think about it.
And I agree with that. And people forget, especially with Jews, Jesus was a Jew. So if you're a Christian and you knocking at Jewish people, our savior was a Jew. You know what I mean? So it's like, you have to just accept what people believe, and you got to see how it interconnects. Mm-hmm. This isn't a religion episode. We're not going to go too deep into this, but everything connects. Every religion looks to something
better the person.
Exactly. And that's what you got to take away from it. And, a big stereotype with Catholics against Protestants. And I see this in demand because, pretty much everybody, in our schools, we go to Catholic schools. They're Catholic. It's a Catholic school. And, us being like Protestant, in the Protestant community, like we hear some of this stuff like, oh man, Protestant reverends, they be doing crazy stuff or whatever. They just say whatever they want. They don't follow.
And then Catholic priests are no better. Like they have all these cases and stuff like that. Exactly. So you can't bring up a statement like that because it's very derogatory, I would say, in that standpoint.
And we're all human, you know what I mean? There's terrible things that the reverends in Protestant churches whipping Bentleys when all their followers are dirt poor. Yeah. Then you have people and, in the Catholic church doing the same thing. Priests doing that horrible things. We already talked about the incidents with the young men and young girls. So, it's, you can go around a table. The thing that you have to remember is that we're all human. We all make mistakes. Mm-hmm. We just have to learn from it. And we have to
continue to better ourselves, better our image. That's really a big thing is with these stereotypes, we have to better our image, race, religion, gender. We have to continue to better our image. We have to get rid of these stereotypes so we can better ourselves and show these aren't true. You actually get to know us as an individual, even though we're Black, Latina, and those stereotypes don't mean anything. I actually get to know us for the person we are so we can show these stereotypes ain't true. So don't keep on believing these stereotypes and saying, this is what they are, this is what they're going to be. No, get to know them. Mm-hmm. Trust me, it will go a long way if you just get to know a person.
But this is what we stand for.
Yes. I feel that.
Stand on ours.
And especially with the religion type, like, when people Muslim, they can wear a scarf over their face. And that stereotype, they're called terrorists. They're not. That's how their religion is. That's how they pray and how they get their course. Like in India, you wear a little mark, like a little red mark. Or you have your style, like I don't know how it's called, like that, their scarf or something.
Yeah.
Like, and then people get mad at them because they're trying to be who they are in their religion. They're called terrorists because they think that that's not normal.
Yeah. And a lot of that stuff, happened, after 9/11, everybody wanted to do, come up and fight. And it's the same thing. I just finished a book on, Japanese internment. They called us an enemy by, George Takaki. I think I'm pronouncing his last name right. Great book. Go check it out. It's a graphic novel if you don't like reading regular paragraphs. But in the book, he talks about Japanese internment camps and the stereotypes that were put on Japanese Americans during the war. And, everybody focuses on the concentration camps in, Nazi Germany and all over Europe. But
this was more recent. Yes. These were much more recent.
But were we burning people alive? We weren't doing that. It wasn't like that. But it was more of an economical, shot to them because look, during those camps, they had, during that time period when, Acts 9066 was passed by Franklin Roosevelt, they had to sell all their houses for mad cheap. They had to sell everything they owned for mad cheap. And they didn't get those things back. In the book, after they closed down the camps and they're like, oh yeah, what we did to you is bad. The government didn't give them money immediately.
No reparations.
We just got finished fighting a world war. So, in the book, he had to live on Skid Row. You know what I'm saying? Go from hotel to, so it was definitely more of an economic punch to them. Were people hurt? Were people, sent to jail? Yes. Now, Nazi Germany, people were burned alive.
Yes.
Starved. We weren't doing that.
Right.
And honestly, I don't think we would get to that point because there's just too many voices in America. We're a democracy. But that's what happened. And that's another, it's stereotypes in that way. And it's fear. I'm telling you, there's another example of fear. The Japanese were doing stuff. They did horrible things. The Japanese were ruthless in the Pacific Theater. And it caused us to fear all Japanese people, no matter if they were Americans, they were born here. You're American. We threw them in camps with barbed wire. So it's fear, man. I'm telling you.
Everything is through fear.
Fear. That's why you got to overcome it. But thank you for bringing that up. We have amazing guests.
Yes.
If you want to be a part of this amazing guest list, then please let us know.
Please hit us up.
We want to hear your ideas.
Tag on Instagram, please hit us up. We want to continue bringing on our messages and letting other people, bring about what they have to say. So please, this is all going to help. And because we just want to get our point across and show that we can have a change as a people in anything. Like we spoke about our previous podcast. We had different, our relationship, in terms of relationship issues, everything. So anything you got, any topics for us, cause we gotta continue bringing up, we have great topics coming up and I think you'll like them. But we need to continue bringing that content. So hit us up. If y'all want to talk about something, let us know and we'll bring it to you.
Yes, exactly. And again, we'll get you on here. We'll ask you questions, whatever the topic is that day. If you want your own topic, let us know. We'll get you on. Get you a seat at the table. So yeah, but do we have anything else on stereotypes, guys?
No.
We're all good? Okay. Good. Thank you for our viewers. If you watch this video, please again, smash that subscribe button, smash the like button, turn your notifications bell on, and just repost the video. Shout us out on Instagram, text us, email us,
anything,
page us, do whatever you like. Okay. But, remember, stay blessed, be blessed, stay safe. Have a great rest of your day. As always, my name's Cameron Tucker. I'm here with my brother Chase. Our guest again, we're Makayla and Jayla. We're going to tag them in the YouTube video. But again, have a great day, everybody. This has been another great episode of
Just Vibes Podcast.
Deuces.